Let's talk about tithing, but not church tradition, not denominational teaching, not opinion. Straight scripture, not full context. Because when you actually read the Bible carefully, you realize something surprising. Biblical tithing is almost never taught the way we hear it today. First things first, who were the tithe laws given to? Every major tithe passage in Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy was given to ancient Israel, not the modern church. This was under the Mosaic Covenant, roughly 1400 to 400 BC. Israel wasn't just a religious community. It was a theocratic, agrarian nation, governed by land-based laws, festivals, sacrifices, and priesthood duties. Tithing was part of that national system, right alongside dietary laws, Sabbaths, and temple sacrifices. Now let's talk about what the Bible actually calls a tithe. Deuteronomy 14:22 says, "You shall tithe the increase of your grain, wine, and oil." Leviticus 27 explains livestock tithes as every 10th animal born, the increase of the herd. Notice something important. The Bible consistently defines tithing as agricultural produce, not money. Money existed in biblical times, silver and shekels, but money was never commanded as a tithe. When money appears, it's usually a conversion option, not the tithe itself. No increase, no harvest, no new animals, no tithe required. So why did the Levites receive tithes? Because they were given no land inheritance. Everyone else farmed, the Levites served. The tithe replaced farmland, livestock, and generational inheritance. In modern terms, it functioned as a social and economic support system, not a religious payment. Here's the part that shocks a lot of people. Deuteronomy 14:26 says, "You could eat your tithe with your family and rejoice before God." Yes, you ate it. There were actually multiple tithes. One supported the Levites. One was a festival tithe eaten by families in God's presence. And every third year, a local welfare tithe was kept for Levites, foreigners, widows, and orphans. So biblically, not every tithe went to priests. Some tithes were celebrations, some were charity, some were community meals. That alone dismantles the idea of a single mandatory 10% to the church rule. Another crucial point. Biblical tithing assumed abundance. It was never taken from poverty, debt, loss, or desperation. The law repeatedly protects the poor. It does not burden them. Yes, Jesus mentioned tithing, but always when speaking to Jews still under the law. He never commanded his disciples to tithe. He never taught a percentage to the church. He did rebuke religious leaders for obsessing over tithes while neglecting justice, mercy, and faithfulness. Jesus didn't increase the burden. He shifted the focus to the heart. Once the church begins and acts, something changes. There is no fixed percentage, no enforcement, no threats, no curses. Instead, we see voluntary giving, generous hearts, and joyful willingness. 2 Corinthians 9:7 says, "Each person should give what they have decided in their heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion." That's not an oversight. That's a theological shift. So biblically speaking, tithing was agricultural, covenantal, community-focused, and from abundance. Christian giving is voluntary, joyful, compassion-driven, and free from percentages. If you choose to give 10%, that's fine. But calling it a command for Christians, attaching fear to it, or using it as a test of faith goes beyond Scripture. This isn't an attack on generosity. It's a call for biblical accuracy. So let me ask you, do you believe giving should be commanded or willingly led by the heart? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk respectfully, biblically, and honestly.